Welcome everybody to Den Excelsior episode 202. We're talking about Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm your host Ricky. With me as always, Dennis. Hello, Dennis.
What's up?
Not much. The week that was, it feels like we just did this.
I mean, yeah,
Last
that
week
was.
felt slow, this week felt fast.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been busy. It's for sure. It's been busy, but I don't feel like I lost. I've lost the week to father time or whatever you want to call it. Why has your week felt so fast?
Is it bad that I don't remember?
A little bit.
I don't know. Just been here, been there, a lot of cleaning. I just feel like that's what you do when you get older. You just clean. You're just constantly cleaning your space.
When you get even older, then you pay people to clean.
I mean, yeah, I'm not at that milestone yet. That financial milestone.
You'll get to that milestone one day. It's not worth your time.
I feel like I watched something, but I can't think what I watched.
I watched too many things.
How's your horror movie spree?
I'm now into the Nick Cage phase. He's made a lot of really weird movies for Shudder over the years. Like a lot.
Notorious uncontrollable spender, Nick Cage.
That's maybe why he's made so many horror movies for Shudder.
No, it's definitely like a thing. You know that, right?
I know that he makes movies to support himself. And I'm assuming he has a lot of expenses.
Yes.
The unbearable weight of massive talent is like a partially true, right? Like that movie, like yeah. So I can piece together, but no, he's I just watched Mandy the other day. That movie's trippy as hell. And then I watched Color Out of Space today. Also,
Mandy's
trippy.
the one where he yells a lot, right?
They're all the ones where he yells a lot. They all are.
I have reverence for like late aughts Nick Cage. Like I kind of love knowing a lot.
I don't know that I know that movie.
It's the one where he starts to decipher, like his kid starts writing a series of numbers, and then he starts to decipher those numbers are key events or their dates in history.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course he catches up to, like, he can then predict it's all tragedies. It's like 9/11 is one of the numbers that he finds out.
Okay.
And then it's slowly but surely him like trying to warn the world of like, hey, something's happening. But it takes like a crazy ass left turn at the end.
But I don't know that one. Yeah. I
uh,
mean, I love Nick Cage in general. I think he is committed to the craft of playing make believe, and whether or not you like the way he does it, it doesn't take away from the fact that he clearly is better at it than a lot of people. Like, and
I appreciate that. I get the sense that he's self-aware and he knows what type of movie he's making.
Yes,
and he knows
absolutely.
what Nick Cage to bring to that movie.
For sure. He is a true professional. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, saw him at the Game Awards. God, I forgot about that.
The man has an Academy Award. That's all I'm going to say.
Or
he has
Summer
more
Games
than one.
Fest.
More than one, yeah. I think, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but yeah, his horror movies are nutso. I finally also watched Train to Busan. I've never seen that one.
So funny. We were talking about a coworker is going there for work and exclaimed today that they're trying to book a train from Seoul to Busan, and then like during lunch, like as soon as they said that, two people were like the movie.
Yeah.
That was it.
It was cool. For the most part, I liked that movie. Have you
Stars
seen it?
Gilgamesh.
Yeah. It's also the guy he was in Rogue One also, right? Is it the same actor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I think so. Racism, maybe. I'm not sure.
Donnie Yen's friend.
Yeah. I forget. Chirrut Imwe is Donnie Yen. I can't remember the friend's name. In any case, if you've never seen that movie, it's a pretty solid zombie movie, but like I think one of the rules of like a zombie movie or I guess most horror movies that I prefer is that like the set aside the outbreak itself, the outbreak we understand is a thing that has to happen for the plot to occur. But after the outbreak, I kind of prefer all the horrible things that happen to the people in the story to be consequences of their actions. Does that make sense? Like
Sure.
if the guy says, "I don't care what you say, I'm going out there," and then he gets eaten by zombies, right? That's his fault, right? That's his choice that he made, and he's doing it. So I think Train to Busan does a great job of doing that for most of the movie, and it's actually really a thinly veiled, like takedown of classism, right? Like all the crappiest people in that movie are the best dressed people in that movie, right? And the people who can't afford the nice tickets or the nice seats and stuff, they're the ones that are getting pushed like into the zombies and stepped over by the rich people and stuff like that. And obviously everybody gets their comeuppance, for being crappy rich people. But there was a part in the movie that kind of bugged me because they get to a place where, I mean, most of them are dead by now. It's a very small handful of live people still on this train. They've got all the zombies like in all the other cars behind them and stuff. And the conductor has to stop the train because the tracks like got another train is like wrecked on that track, right? And I get it, that's fine. Probably bad things happen as a result of this outbreak. That's cool. And so they stop the train, and their plan is they're going to get out and go because it's at a station. So there's a bunch of trains, right? So they're going to get out and go find a clear track and get on a different train and continue their way to Busan. It's a cool element of the story because you don't expect them to get off the train much in this movie called Train to Busan. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, it's going to be like Snowpiercer. No, it's not. They actually get off the train. But right after they get off the train and they're getting ready to sneak around past all the zombies to get to the next train, a rogue locomotive comes out of nowhere on fire, presumably because everybody inside is dead, and it just crashes into the trains and creates a giant like wreckage of pileups, and then the stakes, the drama, the tensions raised, and I was really annoyed by that because it reminded me of like a Michael Bay film. You know what I mean? Where like you're watching a Michael Bay film and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. You know what I mean? Like Armageddon. Like one thing after another happens that has nothing to do with anything they did. It just happens, and that kind of pun intended derailed the movie for me. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty fun. I'm trying to think of the most fun one I saw. Clown in the Cornfield. Clown in a Cornfield.
Is that about a clown in a cornfield?
It's a slasher movie about a small town where teenagers are getting murdered by a clown that's coming out of a cornfield.
You ever watch any of the Puppet Masters?
Yes.
Oh, that was good.
They traumatized me when I was a kid.
Okay.
They're a special kind of good. You know what I mean? Like if you like stop motion and you like silly murders from that involve stop motion, yeah, then it's cool.
Is your goal on this quest to watch new movies or just watch horror movies?
Both. Like I try. Like I think I've gotten to the point where nowadays I'm becoming a little bit more snobby because I've seen so many good ones that like I'm not in a hurry to go watch tons of bad ones. So once I've exhausted like a list of recommendations that people have for me, then I'll start visiting classics. You know what I mean? So
Are you
like,
watching the Welcome to Derry?
oh yeah, that
That's
was Chef's Kiss for a first episode. Did you watch it?
I saw parts of it.
What do you mean you saw parts of it?
Saw
Did you
parts
watch
of
the
it.
beginning of it or did
It
you
was
just
like the
watch it
first like
on the
15
phone?
minutes. No, I watched.
Dude, that intro
Um,
was excellent.
they. I get the sense that they're getting a little weird with some of the Kingiverse, Stephen King universe. I want the
Mhm.
fucking turtle. Give me the fucking turtle, dude.
Well, you get a lot of
Look,
nods to the turtle though. You do get
I
nods to
know.
the turtle.
Give me. They're pulling some stuff. Why not pull the turtle?
We'll see. We'll see. I don't care
I'm
so
a,
much about the turtle. I just love watching Pennywise kill kids. And
yeah.
boy, I was not disappointed in that episode.
I thought it was neat that it is connected ish loosely to what's the kid? Uh Black kid. Um
Mike
Isaiah,
Hanlon?
yes, Isaiah Mustafa in the sequel. Yeah. The grandparents are, or I guess they are his grandparents in that movie.
Are those his grandparents or his parents?
I think grandparents.
Okay, fair enough. I can't
So they would,
remember when the movie the first chapter takes place. Is it in the 80s?
it's in the 80s.
Okay.
And this is in the 60s?
Yeah. So that makes
No, it
sense.
might, because it's every 27 years is the cycle.
That's the number. Thank you. I
Yeah.
couldn't remember the
Yeah.
number. Yeah, he's either it's either his dad or his grandfather, but logic would dictate.
Grandfather.
Well, nah. I mean, if it's 60s, the kid is presumably born in the 70s.
Yeah.
So he could have that kid in the next 10 years.
People had kids young back then.
I'm saying, Ricky, like, if he had a kid, then that kid had a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Mike is like 10 or 11 in 1980s.
Yeah.
In like 1983 or 1984, whatever year it is. So I'm saying he was probably born in 1971 or something like that, 1972. So I'm not.
The 1989.
Oh, the
That's
movie
when.
takes place in 89.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, then
Grandson.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you,
Yeah.
grandson. Yeah, 89 is pretty late. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, in that case, that's awesome. But that's not the only connection, right? Like, did you meet the other black character in the movie, the at the Air Force Base, the one
Oh,
driving?
it's the
It's Dick Halloran.
guy from The Shining, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's a thing too. Is Stephen King likes to mix characters from different stories into
Well,
different.
I went down like a Wikipedia, like Friday at work, and you have the like last 45 minutes of just existing. Sometimes, a few months ago, I went down a
Rabbit hole.
I've never seen Dreamcatcher. My parents would never let me watch it. For whatever reason, like we saw plenty of scary shit, but they wouldn't let me watch Dreamcatcher. And I had a Dreamcatcher in my room. Like I was fascinated with what
Okay.
Dreamcatchers were. So I just randomly looked up that movie and like the plot, and I didn't realize that that's like an alien movie. Kinda. But then I guess the main character in that book is also like referenced in like 10 other Stephen King things, and he's also in like The Dark Tower.
So it's
And
Randall
then
Flagg. Is it Randall Flagg?
yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And The
And then
Stand.
that leads to like 10 other different things.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I
that's
haven't
what I was
read
getting at.
them. I haven't read them, but I'm well aware of all the crazy connections and stuff that have occurred. I have watched mostly every Stephen King movie that's ever been made, and I appreciate the ones that try to respect the little nods and winks, to the other ones, and so they throw them in. Some movie directors are like, this is superfluous information to the story, so they chop it out, right? And then you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, boo. But some get it, and so every now and then you see those. It's a lot of TV movies, a lot of miniseries on ABC.
Yeah.
A lot of different ones have been made, but
That man is prolific.
quite prolific. Yes.
Did you
Problematic at
watch?
times too.
Oh yeah. Are you a Doctor Strange? Or not Doctor Strange, Doctor Sleep fan? Or no?
I love Mike Flanagan. I absolutely love Mike Flanagan. I actually watched got Lindsay to watch Hush with me last week. That's one of my favorite movies he ever did. Doctor Sleep is probably my least favorite movie he's ever done, but I still like it. I like the idea of it, and I understand how much Mike Flanagan loves Stephen King, and it comes through in everything he's ever done. And I understand how much he specifically, as an artist, as a filmmaker, likes Stanley Kubrick's Shining. So I think that's cool. The nods that they pay to that movie, or that it's the movie
Yeah, because the
specifically.
movie's kind of taken on its own. The movie's like a version of. Well, it is inherently a version of that story.
It's its own
But
thing.
yeah.
And so I appreciate it, but it's not my favorite Flanagan thing. Have you ever seen Hush?
Hush.
It's free on
It sounds
Prime.
familiar.
It's his wife plays a woman who has gone deaf from meningitis. I think meningitis.
Sounds so familiar.
So she wasn't born deaf, but she becomes deaf, and she's a writer, and she lives out in the woods. She has a nice house out in the woods. It's fully outfitted with every deaf accessibility feature you could ever need for that house.
Familiar.
And she has a neighbor down the road that comes to hang out, and her neighbor is the best freaking neighbor ever. She's like learning ASL so that she can have conversations with her neighbor, and I think that's wow, it's super cool, right? And then she hangs out with her neighbor for a little while. Then her neighbor's like, I gotta go home, make dinner for my husband. He's gonna be home in a little while. I'll come back later, girl.
Okay,
and then
I see the mask. Yeah.
And then later, this girl comes running, screaming, banging on the door, and the poor deaf woman can't hear her, and she's busy cooking her own dinner, and so she doesn't even notice that this girl gets full-on slasher murdered outside of her window. And then when the slasher killer is done, he's kind of fixated on why did this lady not do anything when her friend just died, And he gets obsessed.
I don't know if I've seen clips, but I've seen the thing.
Yeah, and he starts stalking her the whole night, right? He wants to make a meal out of this whole experience because he can really toy with this woman. It's really cool. It's a cool take on the slasher story, But yeah, that one's cool. But you were asking me about Stephen King, and you were also asking me about old movies and stuff like that. So I'll just throw them out there. I did watch The Fly with Jeff Goldblum. I watched The Blob. I watched The Blob recently. The
80s
Fly,
Blob or
the 80s Blob. I watched a bunch of 80s remakes of old classic. I've seen the originals. I've seen the original Fly. I've seen the original Blob, and I've seen the original Thing. And I watched John Carpenter's Thing. I just finished it today.
That movie never gets old.
That movie is fantastic.
I don't hate the pre-sequel.
I just started watching it a few minutes before this podcast. because I
it's
found out
interesting to
what
see
it
behind
is.
the scenes.
Okay.
Because it was all practical until it wasn't.
Ugh,
It
that
ends
you
not
just
in a great way.
broke my heart. You just
But
broke my heart.
it does add cool thing lore.
Yeah, that's why I'm watching it, just to see what the lore is that they add. But yeah, no, I loved rewatching all three of those movies. The Thing reigns supreme among the three of them. But as a kid, honestly, when I watched the old 50s movies, The
Mhm.
Thing was also the best of the three back then too. So
Like the original thing or
yeah,
the Carpenter
yeah,
thing?
the original. I've seen the original. I watched the original. It was
The
a good
novella.
movie. It was a very good movie, but like obviously John Carpenter did his
Yeah,
own
well, yeah,
thing,
it's The Shining,
and
right? He turns it into something else,
he turns it
its own.
into a work of art of practical effects. You know what I mean? Like it's
I may
yeah,
or may not have been on a part of a thing forum for a while.
that's awesome.
And like kickstarted a thing like sequel series book and prequel.
That's cool.
I went pretty hard into the thing.
But so you've never seen The Fly?
No.
If you like The Thing, you should watch The Fly. It's pretty dope. It's more of the same kind of body horror as The Thing. But it's a few years later. So it's David Cronenberg.
Mm-hmm.
David Cronenberg is like the other guy besides John Carpenter that is like famous for his body horror and practical effects, like big time. And so it's really cool because there's this amazing, like it's one of the last great, like practical effects. Like the further we get out of the 80s, the more we get into like the gray area of like what kind of special effects are you using now. But the Fly has this awesome shot where the dude, the premise of The Fly, right?
Yeah.
He gets his body altered accidentally through
Mm-hmm.
science, and he's turning into a fly, but not in the cool Spider-Man way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's
he
in
turns into
the
a
worst way.
gross, nasty ass fly.
Yeah. But there's a sequence in the movie where he's up on the ceiling, and he's like learning that he can now climb. He can stick to walls and stuff, and he starts walking down the wall, and then eventually on the ceiling or on the floor. And I was just like, are you watching this? That is a fully practical effect. Like, I'm wondering how they did this. And it's not so much that I'm wondering how they did the effect of him crawling, but like, because he's a fly, he's also like addicted to sugar, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
when he gets down to the floor, there's like a billion different donut wrappers and cereal boxes and every kind of sweet thing you could ever imagine, right? And that's the part I was kind of tripped out about because like the way you do a scene like that is a revolving room, right? Like where you're spinning the room,
Yeah.
and the gravity is letting the actor move as though it looks trippy, and the camera's fixed to the spinning room and stuff. And so when I was watching it with Lindsay, and I was like, how are they doing this? I meant specifically like all of this stuff, all this food on the table isn't going anywhere. And she's like, it's probably like a green screen. And I was like, I don't think so, because that seems like the antithesis of David Cronenberg. And so I looked it up, and I found this awesome interview with David Cronenberg on that specific scene. And he said, the only respectable way as a filmmaker to do this scene was to craft a moving room, blah, blah, blah. Like he wouldn't even consider the
Yeah,
possibility
out the
of
gate, you just
yeah,
plan for it.
like any other way is disrespectful to the art form. And that's what I enjoy about these movies I've been watching, is just like that is that they need to do it real.
Do
And
you
so
have the same like love for like a haunted house, or no? Is that like a different thing entirely?
I probably would, but most haunted houses are not built accessible for wheelchairs.
Yeah, well, that was gonna be my next question.
So,
Oh, that's a
man,
bummer. Now I think about it. We got to
yeah.
find a cool accessible. I will say I've told you the story of us going like the super fucked up one here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they shave your head and there's bugs and shit. But I learned recently, like I would go again knowing what it is, but I wouldn't like willingly like invite people without their
Yeah.
consent. But it is like kind of impressive. But I learned they recently that they started doing tours,
Okay.
like back, behind the scenes tours, because some of the stuff that they're doing is like quite elaborate.
Are you talking about like Universal or specifically?
No, this is like it's in Anaheim. Um, so like one of the effects is like an Inception style spinning room, right?
Oh, okay.
There's one where you're completely underwater, like
That's
submersed,
cool.
like in a salt trap. Uh, and there's one where you're basically standing still on a corner, like a street corner, and a car goes about like 30 miles an hour, like at you,
Mhm.
but stops like within like 10 feet. And like I've seen the mechanism on how they do that and like
Yeah.
the redundancies but it, I would love to go back there to see like, cause I can't imagine like the liability that they're taking on and some of the shit that they're
Yeah.
putting people through.
In fairness, it's why I love the old school Universal Studios
Same. Bring
movie
back
tour.
Backdraft.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Backdraft was super cool, right? Until it burned the place down.
Yeah.
But but yeah, no, like I have just the deepest love for all of that stuff, and so if you enjoy the thing, I would definitely consider or urge you to watch The Fly. Don't watch The Blob. The Blob is practical though. It's just
Who's remaking the Blob?
they couldn't get the good actors for The Blob. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a great group of people that they got for that one. So yeah, go straight to The Fly. It's Jeff Goldblum
David
peak.
David
It's
Bruckner.
before. Yeah, I don't know who that is. But
Hellraiser.
definitely watch The Fly. Oh, okay. That the newest Hellraiser, that was good. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of Hellraiser, Mandy takes a weird turn with some very Hellraiser type characters. It's a wild movie, man. Anyways, yeah, I feel like I've been in a fever dream for like a few days now, and I think it's because I've been doing a lot of photo editing and stuff. I'm getting ready for some shows that are coming up in the coming
Mm-hmm.
weeks, and so I spent the whole weekend on my computer like doing art stuff. But the cool thing about when I'm locked in on my computer, I can have a second screen where I'm just binging, background watching like horror movies, and so they were just on all day, every
See, I
day.
can't I can't watch and work at the same time. I'm one of those
Oh,
people.
yeah, the kind of edits that I do, like it's like I could almost script them, you know what I mean? Like it's my specific style of edits. So I do
Mm-hmm.
the same thing on all of them, and then I tweak it here and there if I need to. And so it's kind of like a muscle memory kind of thing, you know what I mean? Um, so it's pretty easy to watch stuff while
Isn't
I do that.
what's um like Adobe Max going on this weekend? It's Adobe's convention. No,
Oh,
I think
yeah, I'm not
it's
sure.
in San Diego. Or let me see. Hmm.
Couldn't tell you.
Thought that'd be right up your alley.
Nah, I think the Adobe's not my favorite part of the process of creating. I think it's the actual the art that I create. Is that a new poster you have behind you, by the way?
I've had that for weeks.
Weeks, he
Probably
says.
since
Weeks.
since definitely before Comic Con. So actually, I got this poster 2 Comic Cons ago, and it's in front of me this whole time. And the Spider-Man 2099 was behind me, but it's a
Right.
Drive poster, and I can't remember the artist, but I have like
Oh, I see
eight
it now.
eight different Mondo Drive posters
Okay.
for the house that I may or may never own. But I'm gonna put up those posters eventually. Damn it!
Hmm.
But this one was very unique because it's of the scene when they're in the LA River. So
Okay.
typically all the posters are very like brutal.
Yeah.
Some of the more brutal scenes, but this one was like, oh, that's kind of like the one like
tranquil moment.
Yeah, and I thought that was a really unique take. Like I remember talking to the guy like on preview night about it, and then I was back and forth. You know, it's Comic Con. I don't want to carry around a fucking poster, but the last day I'm like, all right, I'm bringing the tube. We're getting this thing, and yeah, I knew I had to frame this one immediately. So
it's cool. It's nice. I like that one. It accents the wall better than the 2099 one.
oh, he's still here.
I'm saying that wall behind you. It's cool.
I need to reorganize it because that is becoming more and more apparent. Our Zoom background, and we share an office space, so I need to be mindful.
I see. That's cool. Do you have news that you want to talk about before we get into Spider-Man?
I have a little bit of news, mostly toy news.
Please
do it. All right. This past weekend at MCM Comic Con London, hosted by Reed Pop. Or this past week was that convention, and Hasbro had a panel where they announced a few things. Just to kind of run them through. We are actually let me bring them up here. Did you watch any of the streams while they were going on?
I did not watch any of the streams, actually, but I did catch the reveals.
So, kicking it off, this is going to be a retro card back Nightcrawler Spider-Man. When Nightcrawler was Spider-Man for a hot second.
The Uncanny Spider-Man, yeah.
And then we are getting
Spider-Venom,
which you would need to articulate the difference between the black suit and Spider-Venom.
I think it's Spider-Man merging with Venom temporarily in the comics.
We're getting, I think my personal favorite of the bunch, a Mixmaster.
No, that's not a Mixmaster. That is the Hypno Hustler.
Hypno Hustler. Is Mixmaster the Batman one?
I don't know.
I think the Hypno Hustler.
The Hypno Hustler is ridiculous, and I thought the craziest figure of the wave was going to be Cardiac, but they had to go and say, hold my beer, and give us the Hypno Hustler in the same wave. This wave and Nightcrawler as Spider-Man. This is one of the great, and Leland Owlsley. Oh my God. Can you believe what? Who's this guy? The owl. Leland Owlsley was in the first season of Daredevil.
Was he really?
Yeah, he's the guy that's trying to screw over Kingpin through the whole show. And then the second, I think the last or second last episode of the season, Kingpin finally kills him and pushes him down the elevator shaft. You don't remember?
No.
Okay, well, he's a massive Daredevil villain. He takes over Hell's Kitchen for a time in the comics. Replaces Kingpin after Kingpin goes to jail.
He's just an owl guy.
I mean, he just looks like an owl, you know. He's not like an owl. He wasn't bitten by a radioactive owl, okay?
Here's the Cardiac figure you mentioned. People are kind of beefing with this guy because he has a nose.
Does he have a nose? Oh.
The figure has a nose.
I mean, I understand. I see. I think it's artist interpretation, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think any of us presumed that he didn't have a nose. So it's just maybe just the way the mask was drawn in certain comics is what might be upsetting people. But I think he looks freaking great, dude. He looks pretty cool. He looks awesome. He's got all the little, like, you know, heart rhythms, you know, lines going up and down his body. Super cool.
A brand new Spider-Man 2099 to replace the two shitty ones.
I think he's on the Renew Your Vows body.
He is, so but the arms are different.
He's got the toe articulation though.
He's got the toes, and they did say, yeah, I think he's a buffer and veinier chest and arms.
Okay, all right. He
He's a
should
little
be.
beefier.
He's a little beefier than Peter. So that's cool that he's finally getting a different body slightly than Peter. Because for in the history of 2099 figures, he always is just a repaint of Spider-Man. So
See a little bit
that's
of the
cool.
veins there.
That's cool. I like it. Yeah, that's a really sexy toy.
I like the color too, and they did a good job there.
It's really good. It's a Miguel toy. It's a classic Miguel toy to replace the 3 others they've made. Yeah,
And
this line actually goes up for pre-order tomorrow.
Mhm.
And then they
Video-
gave us more video game Sentinels. I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess they're cool. Like, what? Like, you gotta really love these video games, man, to like want lots of those. Emma Frost with the diamond form, but it's not really diamond form. It's translucent, right? Like, did they?
she's a little cloudy.
Is she cloudy?
She's
Okay.
cloudy, and she's faceted.
Is she?
I
faceted?
do a little bit. I do
Okay.
like how they like her clothing pieces are still there.
Yes. Yeah. So they only did the skin parts, which is cool. And it's the proper costume for the diamond form because she didn't always have diamond form. It was later in her life when she became an X-Man. So cool. It's cool. I like it.
And that is
By the way, if you go back
it.
to that picture of the there, right there, you can see in the top left corner.
Oh, the onslaught.
Every year when they do these Target exclusives, they have a habit of showing other characters that they may be making on the retro cards.
Mm-hmm.
So people are freaking out because they're like, "We're getting a retro card at Onslaught." We'll see. But I can't.
Cannonball and
Is it Cannonball? I'm not sure. I can't tell. It's a little too
younger.
small.
2 younger mutants.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. Also, we never
reveals. What were you gonna say?
We never talked about it. The Tron HasLab, that is not going to happen.
Oh man, it is terrible.
I threw money at it.
1,070 backers, I think, as of early this morning.
Let me pull it up right now.
They need 10,000.
1,090 backers this morning.
Okay, maybe it was 1,009 or
as of right now. Sorry,
as of now, yeah. If they got 20 in the last 12 hours, that's pretty impressive. That's a lot, but
I do like these figures.
They're cool, right?
The whole thing's cool, but I don't know if it's 200 and what is it, 260 cool?
Yeah, alternatively, if you really want Tron figures, I was actually just at Toy Addicts today in
the Diamond Selects.
The ones with the Kingdom Hearts.
Oh no, I don't have those.
The Kingdom Hearts 2-packs.
They did Diamond Select ones like last or 2 years ago.
Okay.
Like just a standalone.
The Kingdom Hearts 2-packs are pretty good because it's like Goofy and like Tron and then like Mickey and Sark or whatever.
I don't like the articulation sucks on all those.
Fair enough. That's a very
valid I have a few of the Diamond Select ones, the Tron ones specifically. Yeah. But they did announce legacy figures, which gives me hope for a Daft Punk in the future. They're on a high right now, so
that's a really sad thing to see this that Hasbro actually taking the opportunity to work on a new IP and just seeing it greeted with like nothing but like emptiness. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's 1,000 after 2 weeks is not good.
I mean, I don't think it was destined to succeed, honestly. It's just too much Tron at once.
Yeah.
They also launched this after the movie. You had to put this before the movie.
It came out the day before the movie.
Did it?
I think it was I think it was the Thursday, the day the movie came out.
You needed more. But they're cool figures. I mean, look, Tron has a look, man. that I think stands the test of time. But yikes, these toys.
Yeah, they're not going to happen. They're not going to happen.
Also, yeah, getting a young Jeff Bridges likeness is probably not the cheapest thing.
True. Well, if that's all the news, I'm ready to do the thing.
Let's do it. Spider-Man: Homecoming. Why am I blanking on the director? Directed by John Watts. Say Tom Watts, singer.
John Watts, 2017. This one.
It's almost a 10-year-old movie.
We're on a banger run right now. We're on a banger run. We just did Guardians 2 last week. Now we're doing this one. This is when the MCU made me cry the most right now, is this little string of movies that we're doing. And this one is a really special one for me, just because as a Spider-Man fan, I can honestly say that, like, when I watched this movie, when I came out of this theater, I thought the same thing that we thought when we watched Superman this year. That was the most comic book movie I've ever seen. And it was in 2017, right? Like,
it's
how many adventures does Peter go on in this movie?
He does a lot of really, I think, neat young Spider-Man things in this movie.
Yeah,
but also
every single one of them feels like an old comic modernized, right? Like,
and then he's playing with the proper amount of MCU in this movie as well.
Yeah, maybe a little too much, but it's okay. It's because in the context of how he's introduced, it fits, right? And I think is it safe to say that, like, for everybody who was cranky about those movies back then because they didn't like that Iron Man was the new Uncle Ben, blah blah blah, like they didn't like how much tech Peter had, that's all kind of a moot point now, right? Because, like, we know where this story goes. Like, so I just have fun. I have fun with it now, instead of being critical that he had all this.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's 2020. I'd be curious to know how much of the ending of the book, per se, they had figured out at this point.
Oh, I mean, I'd like to think they kind of knew where they were going with all of his crazy suits. You know what I mean? Like, is that the end game was eventually we give him the suit that everyone wants, which is just plain old spandex, right? Like, that's, and so I think we went on a fun journey for 3 movies that eventually got us there.
You know, it's funny, like, that honestly was one of my gripes of this trilogy, and this movie too, is like, just put him in the fucking costume.
But
right?
But I bet you, like a few months from now, you're not going to be angry about it anymore, right?
No, I mean, I had to wait, but I do not like his homemade suit at all. I honestly think
I love it. I love it so much.
His I guess first appearance suit is probably, like, it's a perfect costume. It really is.
The first appearance suit, you mean
the
one in Civil War?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the great suit.
Well, technically, that's not his first appearance suit.
No, you know what I mean.
Technically,
it's
the homemade suit appears first. Yeah. I love the homemade suit because of the lesson that he has to learn in this movie, right? Is that, like, and it's so true. And I think it's so cool that Iron Man is the one that gives him this lesson, which is, if you can't do it without the suit, you don't deserve to have the suit, right? And man, I know people love to hate on Iron Man 3, but that is the exact point of Iron Man 3. Like, that's the whole point of that movie, is that Tony is a badass, brilliant mind that can do anything, even without the suit. And so he knows that that's a lesson that a hero has to learn, is that the gadgets are meant to enhance what you already have. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's a really cool thing to watch Spidey or Peter get overly reliant on all the bells and whistles of this thing, this gift that was given to him, um, and ultimately completely still botch everything. Right? Like he did not save that fairy. Like when it came time, every encounter before the ferry with the vulture did not end well for Peter, right? And it's because he was just too.
Yeah, I mean they really hammer home with the arrogance because he straight up almost dies the first vulture meeting.
Yeah.
And then the fairy's the ultimate fuck up. But even like his hubris when he confronts Vulture for like the third time, and Vulture just like drops the building on him.
For reals, dude.
Like,
yeah.
It's neat to see like this world felt very lived in, and I think it's also because you didn't have to do a lot of the baggage the other Spider-Man movies had to do, where you're just introducing character after character.
We didn't have to do an Uncle Ben.
Didn't have to do the Uncle Ben. You got an MJ.
He's already Spider-Man at the beginning of the movie.
He's already Spider-Man, but he's also not like. I think honestly did the best job of portraying him as like a kid. Even like I feel like Toby and Andrew were kind of there, but they were still kind of grown-ass men.
This one feels like an innocent kid, right?
Yeah.
There's an innocence to him, like, and like you said, and the hubris is like, hey, look, high school is super easy for me. I'm just gonna work on web formula while I'm in my chemistry class because everything else is like way beneath me. And so he's just constantly, he's got that eagerness that a child has, right? Where he's watching the clock and waiting for the bell to ring so that his school day can end and he can go be Spider-Man. And that's, if that doesn't sum up what it is to be a child and with great responsibility, like, I don't know what does. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a fun argument that I have with a lot of people, like, all the time, is a lot of people live and swear by Toby as the best Spider-Man. And I personally think Andrew is the best Peter, but I think that Tom Holland is the best of both. Yeah. I think he's the best combination of the two, right? Like, and I think like Tom Holland just does a great job through this whole movie of making you feel like he's a kid, but he's also Spider-Man. And that the dichotomy of that is what creates the Parker can't win kind of situation, the cyclical nature of his life, right? Every time things are about to come up Peter, life just hits him in the face. Like, it hurts. And I think it does it repeatedly in this movie. But my favorite moment in this movie is when he's been stripped of the suit. Iron Man's like, you're done. We're done. You're done being this thing, like you're grounded, whatever. And he's like, maybe I should just go back to being a high school kid and do that. And so we do a montage where he ends up, asking Liz out to the homecoming, and then Aunt May's got to teach him how to dance, and they got to teach him how to do a tie. And he's just living in a teenage rom-com for a little while until he gets to the door of his date, and that door opens, and it's Michael Keaton, who's been the Vulture this entire movie. And I never saw that coming. Did you see that coming the first time you watched it?
No.
And isn't that amazing? And you can never take that away from us, right? Like, I mean, will always remember that. It didn't matter if you saw it in the theaters or at home. That moment was not telegraphed at all. But then when you watch the movie, they give you hints that he has a kid, and he has a kid at Midtown High, and then he has that concerned look at the Washington Monument, right, when he finds out Spider-Man's there. And like, they're giving you tiny, tiny hints, but they kept that secret so well done that when you see that, even when he tries to live a normal life, he just can't. He just can't do it. And for me, it's just,
I
it's
mean,
just
even the
Spider-Man.
reveal when the Vulture figures out who he is.
Yeah, like
I
five
like
minutes later, right? Yeah.
5 minutes later. I like that questioning because it is super like, again,
Obvious, right?
it's a kid's
He's not
it's
covering his
back.
tracks that good, right?
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. Like, hey, you're sick all those times, and then he's like, "Oh, what do you do after school?" I was like, "I don't know." It's like, well, that's like, you're going to a very prestigious school, right? You should know. Like, he's asking all the right questions there. So I thought that little moment,
Yeah.
it would have been a disservice for him not to figure it out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
And I thought that was
exactly.
also interesting too, that they let it happen.
Because like the Spider-Man movies historically either don't let the villain learn who he is, or if they do, he has to die by the end of the movie.
Mhm.
Right? That is what the previous 5 movies have established.
I mean, that's what the plot. What's the plot point of the third Tom Holland movie?
Well,
They all know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Yeah.
yeah, but he subverts that entire idea by trying to help save all of those
Yes.
villains instead of, yeah. So that's why this Tom Holland is, I feel like, the most Spider-Man of all the Spider-Man that we've gotten on screen, because like, even in this movie, right, like, he's, once he knows that his date's father is the man he's been trying to put away, and the only reason he gets to live is because he's like, you saved my daughter, and because of that, I'm gonna let this slide once, but if you ever blah blah blah, I'll kill you. I'll kill you dead. I'll kill you and your family dead. Like, it's a pretty serious threat. And what does he do? He goes into the dance and says, I gotta go. And he immediately has to be Spider-Man again, and he has to go take down this guy, but he doesn't plan to kill him. In fact, he plans to do everything he can to save this guy. And I think it's so charming for me to watch that innocence that you're talking about, that childlike innocence in every decision he makes. Is he wants to be the best hero he can be, and sometimes that means being better than Iron Man, because Iron Man had no qualms killing people. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not Iron Man's thing. Like, Iron Man don't care. But this Spider-Man is constantly trying to preserve life and save people from their own, horrible decisions. And I just, like I always say, you give me a superhero movie where a hero is behaving heroically, and I melt. And through the whole movie, whether it be, stopping a guy from stealing a bicycle, or, rescuing the guy who owns the sandwich shop and his cat.
Do a
Like,
flip, Spider-Man.
do a flip. That is my favorite line of the whole movie, by the way. I can't get enough of that. Like, it's so good. I just,
He's in
yeah.
a side note. He's going to be in the new Resident Evil movie. I can't even remember the actor's name.
Zach Cherry.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
I like Zach Cherry from Severance.
Mm-hmm.
And Shang-Chi.
Chang-Chi.
Yeah, he's in both. Yeah, no, I just think he's just constantly being the hero that neighborhood and we need. And it's just so filled with hope. And it's like the thing that I constantly ragged on Man of Steel for. You know what I mean? It's like, where's the hope? Where's the feeling of joy and stuff? And
Well, if
this
you think
movie,
about it, they kind of progressively like Spider-Man's pretty cynical by the end of this trilogy.
No, disagree.
I think he's beat down a little bit.
Beat down is different than cynical.
Well, he doesn't. He's in a very cynical place by the end of the third movie, but in the closing scene, he picks up his bootstraps and gets back to work.
That's why I don't think he's cynical.
Yeah,
I understand what you're trying to say is they take him through. They put him through it in 3 movies. They put him through it, but that is why Peter Parker is my favorite superhero, like in comic books ever, is because no matter what you put him through, he comes out like still wanting to try. He still needs to keep trying, you know what I mean? And I think that's the most beautiful thing to carry, like the most beautiful lesson you can take from a piece of fiction is that when life, craps all over you, man, like it's not the end. It's not the end. And even though you make mistakes, you can fix those mistakes by being the best person you can be to the people around you and your community. And so like that's what he does for 3 movies. But also it's wrapped in a candy shell of teenage comedies. You know what I mean? Like the first movie is like this brilliant homage to to every like 80s and 90s like teenage comedy movie you ever saw in high school. And then like the second movie is also like continuing the formula because like you better believe European vacations were like a thing in movies back then. Like there's a lot of ridiculous ones that happened. And so yeah, it's just it's a romp. It's a fun romp through all of them. I love that they take Spider-Man and they put him in the suburbs for a sequence of that movie, and he gets to learn how ineffective his spider webs are when there's no tall buildings, and he has to do the Ferris Bueller like jog through people's backyards.
I mean, that's like the one gripe of this movie, right? He doesn't really swing at all.
He doesn't get to swing much in this movie. Yeah, I mean he hangs on to the vulture several times throughout the movie. I wouldn't say he doesn't swing at all. I feel like he swings a little bit, but it's not much. It's usually just to like stop and eat food or something like that.
It is crazy to think about, like, again, so this movie came out 2017. Like, we just found out who bought that building. Avengers Tower. Like that's a plot point, right? They're selling Avengers Tower.
I know, right? Yeah.
It's like, oh, that took a minute.
I thought the same thing too. Yeah. The time, we're kind of stuck in a certain time. But in fairness, we're gonna have an Infinity War, and then half the population of Earth is gonna go away. So
I remember another gripe when this movie came out was the Spider Sense stuff. Like you didn't really have it or use it.
He did use it, but it wasn't consistent. Like he does dodge attacks that are coming from behind him, but it's not. But sometimes then he just takes a hit from Shocker. But in fairness, that happens all the time in the comics too. I'm like in theory, like he should never get hit, right? But he gets hit all the time in the comics.
But they work it into like it's a plot of the second movie, right? Where like, all right, you gotta lock in. You can't just use this power. It's something you gotta focus on.
Yeah. But I think I appreciate that. It's kind of like a little bit of a Smallville thing, but also if you don't over explain the spider sense, then you can't catch the filmmakers on a gotcha moment. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I think they were intentionally nerfing spider sense for it to be a plot point later, so I didn't mind that, like again, but like you said, hindsight's 2020, and I think hindsight for this trilogy it makes it really hard to hate on a lot of things that happen in the earlier movies, just because I know where this goes.
I mean, this is I feel like one of the only. It puts a nice bow. Obviously, right? Like there could have Spider-Man could have ended at multiple points during this trilogy for factors beyond the quality
Yes,
of these movies.
for
Um,
sure.
so there's kind of nice, weird off ramps that they have worked into some of these stories.
Mhm.
But I'm happy that we're less than a year away from another Spider-Man movie, like
Yeah,
and another Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. Like I'm ready. I'm ready for more. Like this needs to be like a biannual thing. Like just give me Spider-Man stories.
yeah. Well, I mean, that would be the dream, right? Is that we just get enough of him to feel like we're always checking in. Yeah, but like, I mean, because the reality is, like, this movie, it gave us so much, and potentially it gave us too much, because I often wonder how many of these plot threads are just going to never be pulled on. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like his debate team, Cindy Moon
Yeah.
is one of the people on his debate team. You know what I mean? Like the Tinkerer and Shocker and
It
Scorpion
it
and
kind of burns
Vulture,
any chance of like a proper Sinister Six.
right? It
And
kind of does.
that's a little disappointing.
It kind of does.
Like we're gonna probably get them, but they're not gonna be the center. You know what I mean? Like
Yes. Like there's too many things stuffed into this movie to make it feel like they actually have any intention of ever going forward with it. Like, is this Flash Thompson ever going to be Agent Venom?
mhm.
Probably not. Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, is
I
you
mean,
know, like,
you want to make it muddier, like the
is Ned
Tom
is Ned
Hobgoblin Ned.
yeah, is Ned going to be the Hobgoblin ever?
Like, is Harry gonna show up?
Yeah, exactly.
There's still no Norman.
The only thread we ever got really from this movie that actually got pulled on is Aaron Davis became the Prowler in another movie that wasn't this universe, right? Like, which was cool, and I wouldn't say that gives me hope that the Miles thread that was also in that same
Mm-hmm.
sequence will probably get pulled on as well. But I feel like we're gonna drop everything else that happened in these movies and just go with Miles at some point. You know what I mean? Like Betty is one of the kids at that school. You know what I mean? Like
If
all of these characters
if they were
are
smart, man, and they've hinted at this, where like Sony just gets Miles movies and then MCU gets Peter movies, but they're all MCU movies, right? And
that'd be kind of cool.
but in the comics, so that's not a thing. Like Peter and Miles don't typically hang out. Like they're separate universe characters, right?
No, no, they're in the same universe now, and it's super confusing because they both call themselves Spider-Man. They hang out sometimes, yeah, they do. But they can also do their own thing, you know.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, it was after Battle World. After Battle World,
Oh well,
they
guess
like
what's coming next year.
a lot of people argue that the entire point of Battle World in the comics was just to bring Miles into the 616. Like that's the big argument that people make for, like, Battle World really didn't matter.
Is Battle
It's
World
that,
pre or
like,
pro Spider Verse? The movie.
uh
It's got to be post, right? Or pre?
Battle World, I think, is pre Spider-Verse the movie. Yeah, because Spider-Verse existed as a comic before the movie. It was a
Yeah.
thing, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a multiversal team up thing, like the movies. It
Yeah.
just it just they chose to do a different story than the comics did. But yeah, but again, like, getting off track, like, I love all the little nods to Spider-Man that are in this movie and his lore. I just don't know that I should be hopeful that most of them end up coming to fruition, because at the same time we're also trying to like throw in like backdoor Iron Man storylines. We're also throwing in nods to Captain America multiple times. Like the principal is obviously a descendant of one of the Howling Commandos. Hannibal Buress, the coach Wilson, keeps playing hilarious videos, and then at one point he's like, "I'm pretty sure that guy's a war criminal now, but whatever," you know, like, and it's super funny, like all the Captain America stuff that gets thrown into the movie. There's Thor jokes, you know, so like there's so many jokes about like the Avengers that you almost get overwhelmed by like the shininess of all the toys playing, like, or making fun of all the toys that exist, that like the Spider-Man toys don't feel as shiny, right? Like, because like he gets to hang out with Iron Man. So now I don't care that Cindy is there. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so it feels like all the MCU-ness overshadows all of that. And I'm trying not to get like, I'm not trying to be a bummer, but I would like to see where they go in the new movie with how many of these actors that stuck around for at least 2 movies, right? Like most of these bit characters are not.
Betty Brant's in there too. Who else in there?
It's so many characters. And then there's Damage Control, which is a plot thread that never ever.
Well, it kind of came back. It came back in Miss Marvel.
Really? Did it?
Or it's not Damage Control? Yeah. That's who's chasing her. Damage Control.
Oh, right? You're right. In Miss Marvel, in the TV show. You're right.
Or is it someone else?
I think it might be. You might be right. Yeah. Okay. I'll go check that one again. But yeah.
The hope would be though, like Daredevil starts pulling in on the, like, mind you.
Yeah.
Daredevil season 1, there's like a what has a name? The Vigilante Task Force. Just hanging out in New York.
Season 4.
Season 4.
Or you mean Born Again? You mean
Born Again season 1.
Yes. It's like, if this is the biggest complaint I have, like, trust me, not a big deal. Like, it's not. I think it's using the same tactics that Joss Whedon did when he created the first 2 Avengers movies, right? Is fill it with so many plot threads that whoever takes over should not be able to screw this up. You know what I mean? And I think that's what they've done in this Homecoming movie, is they filled it with so much potential that it could go in any direction. And I think that's the whole point, right? Is you never know which storyline they're gonna do next. Because if you know, then it's kind of boring, right? Like, and so I think that was fun. That's a fun way to do this movie, where it's like, wow, that was a great Vulture story. By the way, Michael Keaton's Vulture, still one of like the top 10 villains that we've ever gotten.
Morbius's Vulture?
Shut up. Michael Keaton's Vulture is one of the best villains that we've ever gotten in the MCU. I'm not going to put him right there with Killmonger and Thanos, but he's pretty high up there, man. It's mostly because he's like probably one of the most relatable villains. You know what I mean? Like, you actually fully understand who this guy is as a person and his motivations. And you might not agree with his motivations, but you understand them. And I think that's a really cool thing. And that's the extra bonus of that moment when you get to visit his home, is now you're seeing what he's doing it all for. And once you see that, that's the missing piece of the puzzle that we didn't have from the rest of the story. And you're just like, damn, well, you still got to lose, you know, because you're the bad guy, you know. And then he says, I'll kill you dead. And then at that point, it's like, okay, well, you're kind of a piece of crap, but
yeah.
But you're a villain, so it's okay. I forgive you. You know,
he redeems himself at the end.
He does. He does redeem himself at the end.
Scorpio's coming back. Where's Scorpio? Scorpion.
Is he coming back?
He's in Nuvia.
Okay, well, that's cool.
Is he wearing the suit? I don't know, but he is back.
That's all I want, is to see any of these little threads pulled on. So that's awesome. It's really cool. But yeah, I think this was a really a treat to rewatch this movie. I haven't watched it in a few years. I know I watched it a lot when it first came out on for purchase, digital purchase. I have seen this movie too much because I definitely was able to quote things before they happened, like when Martin Donovan is like, I couldn't bear to lose more children on a field trip. Not again. Like it's I all the jokes, they're funny, but like at the same time I
The
memorize
Incredible
them.
Hulk's Martin Donovan.
I know, right? It's the same character. It's really weird, but it makes sense. But yeah, it's so much going on in this movie. But if you just want to ever watch a really fun movie called Spider-Man, I think this is the one, man. Like for me, this is the most accessible Spider-Man movie, with the exception of, understanding that he exists in a universe with other superheroes, so but I think that's the joy of it, right? Is like all the other Spider-Man movies exist in like some weird vacuum.
He is a good glue. Like he can punch up or punch down,
Right.
right?
Yes.
And it's nice to finally see, even though they could be doing more, and I think they're going to do more with the next movie, but you can start seeing it, right? Again, he's in space. He's fighting Thanos. In the next movie, he's back on Earth. Like
Mhm.
he's a chameleon in that sense, which also chameleon's in the second movie technically.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
that I can't wait to see where else they put him. Like
Yeah. And that's also kind of the fun of all of him in the comics too, is I'll take any story with Spider-Man, you know what I mean? Like, because he's gonna be Spider-Man. Like he's so dialed in, like that you can take that character and put him in any situation. It's like Deadpool, but less annoying. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason Spider-Man is the most popular superhero outside of the US. Like there's a reason, and it's because it's such a charming character. It's such a cool aesthetic, like his look, and it's because anybody can pretend that they're under that mask. And so it's a bonus when the person playing the character under the mask is just a joy to watch and or listen to, because a lot of it's CG, and I will say the CG doesn't age gracefully.
yeah,
It's a little rough around the edges sometimes, but what are you gonna do? That's what happens when we don't do practical. Like I just accepted it. It's how we make these movies. So okay, fine. But I'm glad you like this. Yeah. Did you? I mean, what does this movie still high on your list, or is it like
it's
mid?
up there. I think it's a solid entry. I think it's one of those. I can separate a perfect MCU movie and a good movie. I think those are different things. And I think this is probably it's up there in that perfect category for MCU movies. With just telling the unique story of this Spider-Man in this world, um, and putting him with I think the Tony mentor figure is great. And the lesson he learns at the end of this is great, and then him, rejecting the Avenger offer, right? At the end of
Yeah.
the movie. That's a cool thing. Granted, it gets changed like immediately after,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
for like a brief second.
But alien invasion, man. Like, what are you gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
alien invasions trump everything. Like, that's, and I think that's always been the history of the comics. The Avengers in the comics is everybody's cool to do their own thing until aliens invade, and that's just the rule. So you know, it makes sense. It makes sense when what happens afterwards. But yeah, I fully agree with you. This is really high up there on like just like beautifully executed MCU movie. And I like saying MCU movie like you are, because we understand what the MCU is. It's its own thing, and it needs all of these parts to make it. But I think they nailed it on this one, this specific one. So I'm very happy. And I was doing the math, Ricky, and it is possible we can finish these MCU movies before the new year. It's quite possible.
I mean, that will take us into a Wonder Man.
When does that start?
It's like in January.
That's pretty cool. So I think I'm down to try it. I'm not pressuring you, but I do know that next week we're going to take a break from the MCU because I really want to do V for Vendetta. But after that, we can resume with, I believe it's Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, another winner.
Yeah. All right. So I got nothing else to add. I love this movie. Everybody go watch it. It never gets old. The jokes are hilarious. And the action's pretty cool. There's so much action in this movie, by the way. It's like nonstop action, like constantly. Sometimes it's jokey action, but it's still fun. It's still really cool. He's a lot of Spider-Man in this movie.
A lot of Spider-Man in this movie. Not a lot of Spider-Man in our immediate future, but next summer, another Spider-Man movie. And with that,
there's like 3 more Spider-Mans in our immediate future.
I can't remember what happens next.
We're gonna by the end of November we'll be doing Infinity War.
Okay.
And then in December we'll be doing Endgame and then Spider-Man.
Oh, I meant like new Spider-Man content. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, understood.
But yes, we have some Spider-Man features.
Yeah. It's a lot of Spider-Man in the next few months. Yeah. All right, cool. I'm out. We're done. Let's do this.
All right. And with that, true believers,